Okay, hello everyone and welcome to Randomized Gaming Stream. My name is Random Gamer Ribbon, and I welcome you to our Thursday stream. A slightly delayed Thursday stream due to the fact I didn't think I was going to be doing one, seeing as we had maintenance earlier today where we discovered there was a gas leak and they needed to urgently fix it. But it was half sorted now, so it's all good. They're fixing it in the morning, but we are okay to stream tonight. I'm not going to suddenly explode in a massive fireball and die horribly. But yes, apologies, I'm just setting up the stream literally at the minute, so I'm just going to quickly adjust some of the text and things very briefly. So apologies, just watch the tracks for a few minutes just while I adjust this. When was Vanishing Point released? I don't really want to do this after the stream because it would just mess things up otherwise. So Vanishing Point is 2001. It is Acclaim Entertainment, and it was developed by a British studio, one of which I think when I checked, I actually worked with one of the developers of this. Yeah, if you're watching this on stream in pre-back, just exit a few minutes ahead. So there, I'm just going to finish that there. If you check, that's the major details updated. Don't need also known as, because it wasn't known as anything other than Vanishing Point. Just change. Claim, where there's blame, there's a claim, and Vanishing Point. Okay, that's all good. Okay, a few minutes delay. Apologies if you were expecting the stream to be Okay, there we go. I don't know how many people I'll get on stream tonight, seeing as it's a little bit impromptu, seeing as I had expected to cancel the stream, but I thought, well, seeing as I've got the opportunity to do it, I'll do it, and we'll see if people join or not. So Vanishing Point is a pretty obscure racing game released on the Dreamcast. I believe it was also released on the PS1. It was developed by a company called Clockwork Games, and I did actually later on discover that it actually worked with one of the developers quite a bit later than this, though. I think this was one of their last games, Clockwork Games. I think the studio may have gone bust. It's actually a very slick and well put together racing game. It did have internet racing options, extras. So you'll notice this game does have one issue which did plague a few games during the era, that a lot of the content's actually locked out. Literally the whole game is locked out. So much of it's locked out, it's a little bit annoying. But there is a game, so head-to-head arcade, so tournament, single races, time trial, stunt drive. Basically, as you progress through the game, you unlock an awful lot of content. But as you can see there at the minute, and literally you only get the 2 cards as well to begin with. It's one of those games that literally unlocks the entire game by default, and you have to earn it. Some nice audio effects, and we have some nice additional terrain here going on. It's actually quite a not that well talked about Dreamcast game, but it's actually a very solid racer, and one that if you're a racing fan I would highly recommend looking at. This is definitely the best version as well. I believe it got a PS1 release, if I'm jogging my memory collection. But this Dreamcast release is just vastly superior to the PlayStation 1 release in just about every way. It's actually a very well put together racing game, and one that I think does definitely need a lot more talking about. It's a really interesting one because it definitely, I think it came out too late, so it kind of got knocked on the head. And those are the developers' names, I reckon, because the the guy I actually worked with is credited in that list, so who I actually met. But yeah, that's all of Clockwork Games stuff, a now defunct studio. But they give me some quite nice titles. That's the tournament mode. Just need to adjust the controls slightly. Appreciate the likes, guys, if you're on stream. Thanks for dropping by if you are. I appreciate this stream was a little bit unorthodox, seeing as I was partly expecting not to be here, seeing as it looked like I might have to worry about whether I'd be blown up in some giant explosion. Basically, we had a gas leak in the area and they had to sort of check it out. But it's all good. It's all good, as they say. Just turn on autosave. And feel free to drop by in the chat if you want. I appreciate the likes. You do need to be a subscriber if you want to talk in the chat. It's purely to stop spam messages. And you can always, you only need to be subscribed for a minute, and you can always unsubscribe if you don't like our channel afterwards. But it's always nice to get people. So that was let's do a single race. Just got the two cars. So one of the issues, you see they're all actual vehicles here. Toyota Supremo, Dodge. Dodge Viper GTS, yeah. Always focus. The game, I think, did get some criticism of having an awful lot of content locked out originally. Which was... Let's do one of the other ones. Oh, I can only do Red Rock Canyon as well. Okay. Appreciate the likes, people. I'm getting multiple likes and it's still saying I've only got one concurrent viewer, but it's also saying I have 3 concurrent viewers, so I don't know quite what's going on with YouTube at the minute. It's saying with multiple viewers. Yeah, we've noticed there's a bit of an issue where it's saying you have people on stream and... So actually have time to beat. It is a very good looking game as well. This was definitely one of the better Dreamcast racing games that I think didn't get... I think because it was quite late, it kind of got not very much to talk about. I'm just going to change the... Let's just try steer... If I set steer speed to mid, is this going to be too tight or is this going to be quite stiff? That's 2. Visual settings as well, close view. Oh, we can actually adjust the... That's quite nice. And you get horizontal or vertical split as well, which is another nice touch. It's definitely a Dreamcast game that doesn't get mentioned, but it's definitely well worth talking about. It's a very, as I said, it's a very polished racer from quite a... I think Clockwork Games were the ones that did 3D Lemming. It is actually a very nice 3D racer. It's actually pretty good looking for the Dreamcast. I believe, sadly, this was their last game as well. I think they went defunct after this. Yes, hello Shinobi1, thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, it is actually visually a very impressive game. You've got transparencies on the windows as well, so... Yeah, so I can see the car through. You can even see the driver in there, the sort of silhouette of the driver, so you can't make out whether it's male or female, or anything about the driver, which is quite a nice touch, so that way you had a sort of generic driver, but... Now, did I beat the par time on that one? You placed 6. Yeah, apologies, I wasn't able to start on time tonight. That's because of the issues we had with the gas leak in our local area. So, but as I said, it's partly rectified now. They're coming back tomorrow, which is a bit disjointing. It's affecting my ability to do long plays. Please enter your name, Riv. But it's definitely a bit of an obscure Dreamcast game that I don't think many people really know about. So I've got Time Trial, Single Race, Stunt Drive. I can't remember what the stunt drives were. Long drive. 26 negotiate the ramp that hits. Yeah, it's kind of probably like the closest thing you'll get to Burnout on the. It's definitely a game, but visually, as you say, Shinobi Wan one, it's a very impressive one. I remember at the time people saying the Dreamcast version of this was very good, but it got... I seem to start the wrong way round as well, just to add... Let's not hurry up. Let's go, let's go. There it goes. Don't get a better score. This was quite a good fun mode actually, sort of like an early Burnout, before Burnout in fact. In fact, I should probably check to see if any of the developers would later go on to work on Burnout in this. Okay, that was a better score. Let's see if I can get an even perfect score. So it was a long jump, twists and turns. Okay. Negotiate the slalom, tag the checkbox at the opposite end is making a fast turn at the checkbox. Okay. Do you actually get... This was quite... I always remember this because this is a very good game in terms of content. The only downside was everything, and I mean absolutely everything, is locked out when you first start with Vanishing Point. It's one of those games where you have to play it to unlock the additional content. I think they made 3D Lemmings, so I'm just going to turn down... Just going to turn the volume down to 80 because it's quite loud in my eardrums. Yeah, they made a few games. Look at Moby Games. In fact, I'll look at their... Ooh, restart. I think they might have been the people that did 3D Lemmings as well. It's a game that I don't think many people just don't know. Oh, just don't know about or talk about. But it's a really, really. I mean, that's actually this is an Audi car as well. So I'm actually playing as an Audi. No, don't sort. Gotta make some quite sharp turns. Oh, restart. I don't think they made anything else on Dreamcast though, so they may have made something. Getting some racing in a bit. I'll do a few tricks. Definitely, this does give you a very big Burnout vibe before Burnout. Oh. We'll drive the way back. Ooh. Ooh, hurry up. Yep, done it. I think there's a couple of games called Clockwork games as well, because a couple of companies have had similar titles. So, and you unlock events as you go along, but the aim is to get sort of maximum. I just need a better score on this one, don't I? Yeah, they did Vanishing Point, Rush Hour, 3D Lemmings, Winterland, Lemmings 3D, Wiz and Liz, Krytom, and Nick. Oh, Wiz and Liz, okay, they did that on the Amiga. I'll give you a link there, Shinobi Wan. This is currently credited as their last one on Moby Games. Sega Adventure. Clockwork Tortoise, yes, who did Batman and Robin. Interestingly, I saw the Game Hunt video on Batman and Robin. He was saying that none of the effects were actually that taxing for the system, but they'd just used them to great effect. Yeah, it's only a tricky one, this when you're going at speed. I'll move on to a race in a second, the tournament mode again. But there is a lot in Vanishing Point, and as I said, it's definitely a game that really doesn't get talked about much. It's a very good looking Dreamcast game. I believe it was released on the PS1, but I don't think the PS1 version will look anywhere near as good as this Dreamcast port. Okay, that's the better store. Continue, 63 points. I should actually cover Batman and Robin on the Mega Drive. We do have a copy, so... oh, I still need a bit of score. 155. I'm 4 short. The long jump. Let's give this one one last shot again. The long jump. Hello, Lutfi Makrim. Thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, this is a very good looking game. I don't think it's quite as good as MSR, but it's got some really nice effects to it. I mean, MSR was also developed by Bizarre Creations, another British studio. This was done by, say, Clockwork Game were a British studio. So... just see if I can unlock the other challenge before I go into the racing. I think the one downside, as I mentioned right at the start, is the fact so much of this game... no, that's not going to work. I need to be a bit more controlled. Is that the game is quite heavily locked out when you first begin. Oh, that was a really long jump. That was 84. Did they make the Clockwork Knight games? No, there's also a game on Saturn called Clockwork as well, weirdly enough. Oh, this might be quite a long jump. Was that a better score? There's definitely there was a lot of content for this one, and it's definitely took you a while to sort of unlock everything. So I'll do a race in a sec. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please do consider hitting that like button. It's very much appreciated. It does help us in the rankings on the channel. Or more specifically, it helps this video in the rankings to be shown. Not that I think there's that many videos on Vanishing Point. I think it's quite an obscure title that doesn't really get much love. It definitely got released in North America. It got released in North America, it got released in Europe. It did not get a Japanese release. And I am playing the PAL release on VGA, so as you can see here, it looks lovely and nice. Yeah, without the crashes. Yeah, I think this is... I might check this. I wonder if any of the staff actually ended up working on Burnout. Because they were an English developer, Clockwork Games. They, oddly enough, they actually closed. I think this was their last game before they shut down as a studio. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of them went on to do Criterion. Oh, yes. That should be enough to unlock the next one. Appreciate you guys jumping on, because I know this is a bit of an unorthodox stream, seeing as I wasn't initially expecting to stream tonight. Gonna have fun tomorrow as well, because they're still working on some of the stuff. 162 for the next one. To get a perfect, you must complete this event in 19 seconds. I see we've got to do the cross jump. Oh, I see, yeah. So we've got the check there. You've got to beat this event in 19... oh, it's in total 19 seconds. 15, 16, 17, 19. Okay, slightly better score. You got a new record. One last shot. Okay, let's give that one a break and move on to the... I think I should have unlocked the next one. But yeah, it's very much... You get very much... So you get the racing. The Mask cartoon. Old enough to remember... Yeah, I remember Mask. I am more than old enough to remember Mask. You had the different vehicles with the wings come out. There's basically like the car had wings. It was the main red car. I used to have a Mask... cover and duvet, pillow cover and duvet a long time ago. I had a few of the toys, not that many though. Yeah, no, the main red car. Can't remember the theme tune for Mask, but it... Hi, Nico. Yeah, I wasn't going to initially because we had a gas leak, but then they cleared it up without too much issues, so I thought, well, I might as well stream tonight then. So I've added in some messages to say, yeah, we will stream. Appreciate everyone coming, despite the fact I wasn't initially going to stream, and then seeing as we had... I was expecting the I was expecting the electricity to be turned off for most of the day, but then they said they didn't need to turn off the electricity for the bit, so I thought, well, I might as well just see how it goes. Appreciate the likes there, guys. Thank you very much. This is Vanishing Point, which is a bit of an obscure British racing game released on Dreamcast and PS1, but definitely the Dreamcast version. Yep, we had a gas leak in the area. Well, not in this building. It's actually in the drive area in front of us, and they had to dig it all up and sort it out. So yes, because if it had gone horribly wrong, I could have been blown up in some horrible explosion. But no, we're all good. They fixed it. This is one another quick shot, see if we can get a better time. Yeah, fortunately this was underground and they were able to... Nothing had actually leaked out. It was actually underground, but they still need to dig it all up and sort it out, so... Apparently been like that for some time as well, so... Yes, because hence why we thought they were going to turn off the electricity, because normally gas and electric do not mix in the slightest, but they said it's okay because it was underground, and I don't know how much gas was leaking out, but they sorted it all out. Because normally gas and electricity... Yeah. Just one last shot, and then I'll move on to the next one. But yeah, we've had the gas company around the office most of the day today, so... Hence why I wasn't initially going to stream, because I thought we'd have the electricity turned off pretty much all day, and then they said no, it's not too bad. And if you were following, so you know on Tuesday stream I was doing... So yeah, appreciate the likes everyone. So you know on Tuesday stream I was doing... Let's actually give a time trial, a quick shot. You know on Tuesday stream I was doing Dynamite Cop. Well, I actually managed to discover all the missing Dynamite Cop artwork and actually unlocked the Retro Bruno. I'm also going to see if I can unlock the third secret character, see if it is actually in the English version, because it's so brutally hard to unlock that it may still be in there. So you have to beat missions 4, 5 and 6. So I'm basically going to resort to a cheat code for that, because one of the missions was just impossible to beat, because you start with no health in Dynamite Cop and you have to literally beat the game with only... basically you have one hit damage to begin with, and you basically have to recover all your health by beating the enemies and getting them to drop stuff and not taking any damage. It's incredibly difficult. I will say this is a little bit sensitive on the analog stick, perhaps a little bit more than it should be. The music's actually very good as well. It's sort of got that relaxing sort of drift music. Again, it was one made in-house as well. I must admit, I missed this era of music, because these days most racing games just merely are just literally using licensed tracks, which then makes them a nightmare to stream, and also licensed tracks have no real relation to the game you're playing, so you don't feel a connection. I'm playing with a controller. I must admit, I haven't dug out the steering wheel. Lutfia. Hopefully I've got it correct. Lutfia? Lutfi? Yeah, no, I haven't. We do have a Dreamcast controlling steering wheel, but it's so big and unwieldy, I just haven't dug it out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Spot on, Nico. It is Eurobeats. That's the term I was looking for. I was thinking, what this music is... You had that during the early 2000s. A lot of games had Eurobeats sort of music, which is the kind of music you want for sort of menus and stuff. It's very relaxing. Running in the 90s, yeah. This is 2001, so it's sort of the end of the 90s. Well, but it's just the start of the 2000s. I know you usually get a lot of overlap with the decades. So this is literally just 2 stages, this heat. Appreciate everyone on stream. Appreciate seeing as I wasn't initially going to stream tonight. Yeah, if ever you're looking for a news update, if there's not a stream, I will probably post in the community page on the channel, so... Most of the time. Occasionally I might forget or be so swamped and stuff. Sometimes we have stuff on the blog as well, so do keep a track of the blog stuff as well. Must be. I look like I'm driving a camper van or a human. Was it a human people's carrier? But it is actually, this is one of those racing games that really surprised me on Dreamcast. I never expected it to be as good as what it was. And I never hear anyone talk about this game. It's one of those Dreamcast games that I think slips by a lot of people because it was sort of 2000 release. Probably why this was Clockwork Games' last game as well, sadly. Oh, you actually have a copy, look, Fear, although these days it's quite easy to... I know, acquire continued tournament copies, although I must admit, if you're downloading the image, usually they compress the movies and stuff, so you'll get an inferior experience if you're not playing on an original burned GD-ROM. But yeah, some of the stages in this remind me a little bit of Scud Race, which was the Sega game arcade racer that never got a home port. This stage especially gives me Scud Race vibe. It's got some really great lighting effects as well. The fact we're going in between tunnels, all the scenery around. The track design's quite memorable as well, which is actually always good with a racer. What other Dreamcast racing games do I recommend? Oh, there's quite a few. I mean, Sega Rally 2 isn't bad. We covered Dreamcast the other rate. So, in terms of 3D races, you've got this. MSR's good. I wouldn't say MSR's a great game. MSR has its problems, but on the Dreamcast, it's definitely very good looking. I suppose it is a sort of... I mean, you have stuff like Hydro Thunder. There's quite a few quirky races on Dreamcast. Generally, there's a lot of good races. Something Gotham Racing. Yeah, Metropolis Street Racer is Gotham Racing 0. Or Project Gotham. It was Project Gotham Racing on Xbox. And then their Bizarre Creations' last game was Blur, so... Ooh. 3. But there are a lot of good... I mean, you've got stuff like... so Sega Rally's good. Sega Rally 2's good. This is very good. This is a really underrated game. You've got Metropolis Street Racer. Project Gotham Racing is Xbox, but basically Project Gotham Racing was Metropolis Street Racer. Metropolis Street Racer is... It's basically Project Gotham 0. Let's see what the replay's like. It hasn't been a while since. So, I mean, we did look at Rush Rally Racing, an unofficial racer, which is quite a nice top-down racer. I mean, you have stuff like Hydro Thunder in terms of arcade, and this actually got some really good camera angles as well. Let me see what Dreamcast. You've got Sega GT Homological Edition, which isn't bad. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad. It's probably worth a grab. It's better than what I think Sega GTs you can pick up quite cheap, and it's still actually a pretty decent game. There was also Millennium Racers as well. People discovered was an unreleased game. So yeah, Rush Rally Racing, Daytona USA 2001 isn't bad. Evolution 4x4 isn't bad either. That was a bit of an odd one. It's not a perfect game, but again, it's sort of actually better than what you're expecting. Crazy Taxi, of course, is a phenomenal game, but it's not really a racing game. We've got 18-wheeler Pro Trucker. We've never actually done MSR on the channel, even though we should do. You've got things like Rush. Like a cool Batman game. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Project Gotham 0. So yeah, there's lots of unlocks in this game in Vanishing Point. Hello, Freedom Magnum. Thank you for joining the stream. Very much appreciate everyone joining, seeing as this is kind of an unofficial stream. I wasn't originally expecting to stream tonight. I was expecting us to be sitting in a powered off building, but nope, everything's good. And the stats. So I know there's at least 3 of you watching, and the stats are just all over the place at the minute. So there we go, new car unlocked. There's lots of this where you unlock. I mean, this one probably looks even closer to the Mars car. Thank you for the likes, guys. Very much appreciated. We've done Heat 1. Actually, that's right. I think it was heats per car. Yeah, this was... the races were actually done per car in this one. So every car had 3 multiple tracks. So, yes, you see I've got a Vanishing Point thing on there. So, yeah, this is the thing. This was a quite... it was quite a meaty game, Vanishing Point. Really was a lot of races to do. So it had very much an MSR feel in some regards with how it was done, but it wasn't set in the cities. I remember this one actually took a good about a month to unlock everything, I think. There was a lot of content in this one to do. You basically have multiple races per each car, and you've got to win each and every one. And appreciate the likes. Again, if you're watching and you want to, and you're not a subscriber, then if you subscribe for a minute, then you can talk in chat, and you can always unsubscribe at the end of the video if you don't like our content. And we do here at Randomised Gaming stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at present. Although I wasn't originally going to stream today, and this became a bit of an unprompted stream. Ooh. I think a lot of this one's actually racing against time trials, which was quite interesting. So it's how you perform on the... it's not actually you racing against people, it's basically you're racing against split times, which you don't tend to get in racing, but it's actually quite interesting to see you had split racing in this one. So it's now saying my current split is first. It's not as good visually as MSR, but it's actually a very good looking Dreamcast game. Probably not quite as good as Daytona USA 2001 either, but it is a very nice looking Dreamcast racer. I said the track design's very unique. It definitely has a sort of... oh wow, that car was oncoming. Oops-a-daisy. So I've got 12 seconds to 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6... yeah, to beat the split time, and there we go, that's the first split. Again, you got some nice reflections there as well on the menus. It's all just a very well put together game that I think, as I said before, visually this was a very good title. It's not the best Dreamcast game, but it's definitely a very good Dreamcast game. It shows you in the right hands what developers could do with the Dreamcast. So 4 minutes 10 for the split. And a lot of these cities, the stages do give you quite a nice feel. So this gives me almost like a London feel of the motorway. It does feel a bit like a London motorway. London being the capital of the United Kingdom, in case you're not aware. Having actually lived in the capital, then I can tell you this is very much reminds me of some of the motorways around London. Oh, that's me scuppered. Can't restart either, so I'm gonna have to... What is the best Dreamcast game? I wouldn't say there is a best. So whenever anyone says to me, what's the best game, I wouldn't say there is a best game. I'd say there are some very good Dreamcast games out there. And these days you have an interesting thing because you have the games that are really good on Dreamcast that are now available on other systems. And then you have the games that are still Dreamcast exclusive. So something like this, Vanishing Point, is probably still best on Dreamcast. Again, Metropolis Street Racer still remains an exclusive Dreamcast title. But a lot of titles, like even Shenmue, one of the big Dreamcast sort of selling points, is no longer Dreamcast exclusive. So and I think it just hurt the system a bit with the fact so many of its big titles are no longer just Grandia as well. Skies of Arcadia, great RPGs, probably some of the best games on the Dreamcast, but not exclusive. So then you're falling down to games like Evolution, Eldorado's Gate in terms of RPGs, or Record of Lodoss War. There's also Nyka. Did you ever play Tri-Coloured Crisis? Illbleed's actually a very good horror game, that's for sure. A little bit quirky, but Elemental Gimmick Gear was actually a very good sort of Metroidvania game. Well, Metroid game, I suppose. It's top-down Zelda come Metroid, and it was actually I really enjoyed it when I played through it a few years back. Illbleed's kind of a follow-up to Blue Stinger in some regards, because I think some of the same team worked on it. It's very similar in design. I said in you're actually racing in split time, so there's the different camera angles. There's not an in-car one in this. Well, you get so you don't have a driver's seat view, so they didn't do the cockpits or car. Basically, they didn't do the HUDs and stuff. Yeah, it still mechanically has a few issues, Illbleed, so I wouldn't say it's a perfect game. But it is a very, very original and quirky game. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were enjoyable games. I wouldn't say they're anywhere near the best Dreamcast games. They both have quite a few issues, but I can appreciate why so many people love them on Dreamcast. Certainly Sonic's first proper 3D adventures, they did look... when they came out in 1998, they did have a wow factor to them. Is that good enough to continue? You've got a nice view for replay. Again, you have to finish first, so again, there's no compromise in this. Did you get everything in the game though? So did you get all the unlocks, like the special orb you get for fighting the little robot dude 100 times? Yes, the game about the talking fish. Yes, that actually got a follow-up as well on PlayStation 2. Yeah, that is a crazy game. It's not it's more an interactive experience than a game because you have to play it like once every day, apart from 1 or 2 days where you need to play it. Yeah, I finished at Elemental Gear, Gimmick Gear 100% and actually unlocked everything. Probably, there are like some special power-ups that take ages to unlock in-game with some of the bonus stuff, so it's definitely quite a long-haul title if you're going to unlock everything. Appreciate the likes, everyone who's on stream. Thank you very much. I think there's one for fighting the little dude 100 times that takes ages. Ah, you did get it. Or did you skip through it? Because I know videoing 100 fights is not going to be fun. It's actually easier to fight the little dude at the start rather than later on. And you also have the mini games to get all the power-ups as well. Annoyingly, there were a couple of power-ups that you had to get. Let's do another. Let's go back to the stunt drives. I didn't do. Let's do this one. Yeah, it's the Echo. If the Echo was the one I'm thinking of, it's the one where you beat the little guy in the verse match 100 times. It's easy to get, but it's just really time consuming. Is the best item? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's actually easier to beat when you first start rather than later on. Although I do remember actually repairing your robot at the start of the game is actually a bit of a pain. Echo the Dolphin. Yeah, Echo the Dolphin is really impressive. It's a really long game as well, and they were going to do a sequel on PS2. They did release it on PS2, Echo the Dolphin. I need to actually get some more long plays up on the channel. Now that I have the space to do so, I will do. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. You had to go outside of town and beat stuff, but that's just really time consuming, which is what was a bit annoying. But imagine if you get it early on, that makes the game really easy to play through and blitz. 78, so I need to improve my score even further. Yeah, so these challenges were very much like Burnout before Burnout. Yeah, I did a gameplay video on Gimmick Gear. I'd quite like to play through it at some point, so I'll probably do... try and get all the heart power-ups. There were a few slightly obscure ones, like the old man and his darn quiz, which was hilarious. The translation in Elemental Gimmick Gears is a bit wacky, though. That's the one thing I will say. The translation was not the best. So another 76. Oh, I keep getting 76. 78. So handbrake turn. Yeah, that was one of the issues I had with it. There were a few bits where you're literally like, where am I going in Elemental Gimmick Gear? There's also a few bits you need to make sure you get everything before you leave, because like when the rocket takes off to the moon, that causes basically locks out that base area, and there's a few other bits where you get locked out of stuff, so you have to be very careful for that. Another shot. I need to get slightly... I've got 1 point better. I need to probably get... Oh, well, look, thanks for joining. I appreciate that's really early. Appreciate you joining the stream then, because I know... Are you in Japan, by the way, then? Because that'd be the sort of time I imagine it is in Japan. Thank you for joining the stream, though. I hope you've enjoyed it. Very much appreciate all you guys who are staying up late to watch it. Thank you for joining us. And have a good night or a good morning. Yeah, there are quite a lot of RPGs. I discovered that I had some fun with that with Eldorado Gate recently, where they lock out. There was I missed one of the... you're in Indonesia. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining the stream. It's always nice to get people from all over the world watching everyone here at Randomised Gaming. I should probably look at doing a morning video or something at some point. So how many points do I currently have? I have 84, 85. Let's try and see. Just gonna check the manual. Do you have anything like a handbrake in this? But yeah, I finally managed to get all the illustrations in Die Hard Arcade. So I was, or Dynamite Cop, I should say, not Die Hard Arcade. That was the first game. To accelerate, brake, fast steer. What's fast steer in controls? Does that let me turn quickly if I use fast steer? If I could give thumbs up to our viewers, I would do. Oh, that does do that. Okay, that's about a score. Let's keep going. Use fast steer to my advantage, so. Oh, that didn't count. No, I slightly messed up that turn. I give this another shot. Hopefully I've gained enough points to unlock the next stage, but we'll find out. Turn too early. One last shot. Can't remember if you needed perfect scores on everything to unlock everything. I remember this being taking quite a lot. Said this took quite a while to unlock everything. It was definitely a lot of challenge to this one. Okay, tabletop balloons. So. Oh, so I'm going to get the second one. Oh, that's a pain in... Ow! Okay, let's restart that. Okay, just gotta just tip it just to the left and a little bit to get by at the start. The first time I just literally drove straight, so maybe I'll just do that and just veer it as I jump a little bit. Oh, I was hoping to get the second one as well. Never mind. don't have a lot of time in this one, so I want to try and get as much as possible. Again, we got this weird thing with the streams stick at about 70 playbacks. I have no idea what's going on there. Actually, I think you can get a 3 on that bright start. Yeah, you can probably get 3 on that one if you just angle it just right. Oh, never mind. I'll just take the 2 for now. Appreciate all the likes on stream, guys. It is always appreciated that you're enjoying our streams here at Randomised Gaming. Basically, every jump that I fail to hit one is when I've effectively lost time, so... Shouldn't be making that many mistakes. Oh, fudgems. Oh. Should have got that one there. Don't even get it on this jump. I have to get round the other way back. Come on, we're losing time. I'm losing time, big time. So if you don't get 2 on those first few jumps, restart. If I was going to perfect it, you want to make sure you get 3 on this jump, so... Oh, beautiful! Yeah, just messed up that jump. Messed that one up right royal at the end. Yeah, see if I get 3 at that one, so that way it gives me a huge hand. Just need to tip just a touch more left. Oh, come on, that was... Downside is I've got 2 on the same side, so... Basically, 2 jumps, you can get 5 if you're good enough. You might even be able to get 6 if you get lucky. Oh, shouldn't let the car go that deep, but never mind. Oh, sodgems. And I've just rawly balls that up again. No, if you don't get 3 there, to restart. Let's just see if I exit. Where am I in the rankings? Did that unlock the next track, or do I need to get a few more? Actually, I'll jump back to some driving. We've done enough there. Let's do some racing again. But yeah, you got a whole burnout section. Basically, this is basically burnout before burnout. So you have the racing, you've got the sort of stunt driving stuff, and let's give this 1 second shot to see if I can beat the time limit. They really have set these challenges, so I mean, you've got to do this. You've got to do a lap in what, for want of a better word, is 16 seconds, I think, with this one. So that's a slightly better score at 80 points. So there is a margin of error. Getting 100% is actually very, very difficult. Give this one last shot so you can get the jump just right to pop all those balloons in one go. It's very tricky to get that jump just right. I do like the fact the restart is smooth without any loading. I mean, there's some real nice technical stuff in this. So often the restart will be, no, let's do some racing instead, see if we can unlock some more cars. So, yeah, I think overall, Vanishing Point was always a very good Dreamcast title. I said it's one that definitely didn't get the love it needed to. But, I mean, you've got great graphics. It's a very solid visual game. You've got a very relaxing Eurobeat soundtrack. And I think this got a PS1 release, but this is definitely the version to go for. And you actually have tons of content. The only downside is initially I think a touch too much of the content is locked out. I mean, you only have 2 cars available to you at the start, which I think is just a ridiculous amount to lock out at the start. Should have at least 5 or 6 cars available. If you crash in this, it's all over. Time to beat, 1 minute 49. And there are 3 camera angles. You've got the front view, you've got the in-car view, although there's no HUD or anything, and dash top. So some people may be a bit disappointed there's no... Oh. This is why not to change view in a race. Of course, you've got the time trial. So each car has its own set of mini races. It says you've got the time trial. You have all the sort of crash, the crash test mode. Even a backwards camera angle as well. Good recovery there. We're still 6 seconds ahead, which is nice. Ahead by 6 seconds, and I ain't going to be ahead if I crash into other cars. First place in 14 seconds. Five, four, yep. Slightly crash-tastic at the end there, but enough to still win. I'm pretty sure most of these names are the developers. As I said, I recognise a couple. The one I worked with from there. Well, you will find yourself racing on a lot of the same tracks with these early cars. So this opening tournament is the same as the other default car, same two tracks, but still it's nice enough. We've got a few cars that look like they're reversed, but they look like they're almost going backwards, in fact. It's just the design of the Beetle. Lap slash of 2. Okay, that's... First place, 21 seconds ahead. We've unlocked another new vehicle. So you've unlocked any of the secrets yet? I don't think we have done. But see, there's a whole host of content to unlock in this. It really is a aggressive traffic one make series. So let's give you an idea. Heat 1, I've done 2 of 6. Heat 2, I've done 0. Player vehicles, I've unlocked 4. Secret vehicles, there's an addition. So there's 32 vehicles. Forward tracks. Reverse tracks, so there's 30. Stunt points, I've got 490. Secrets, I've got 0 of 2. Movies, I've got 2 of 9. Slider. So you've got a whole variety. Night Nico, thanks for being on stream. As always, glad you can make it, even though this is a bit of an unprompted stream. Glad you guys enjoying it. It's a stunt driving time trials. Let's do the Ford Ranger. We've got another pickup truck. Definitely a game that needs a lot more love among the Dreamcast fan base. That's the way I don't want to start the race. There's another split race as well. Stage 1 of 2, laps 0 to 2. Oop, the lap timer is broken at the minute. Oh, this is a split race, not a time lap race. Oh, darn car's got in the way just as I was... Appreciate the likes there, guys. Giving me likes on the channel is very much appreciated. Especially on the video, guys. Come on. 3. It's going to be tight. 1, 0. Oh, first. Just. Continue tournament. Someone's just given me a like and it's saying there's no one on stream. So I think the stream counter is once again broken. I have complained to YouTube about that. YouTube haven't got back to me. They just got the generic, just mention it in feedback. It's like, no, it's broken. Please look into it. So give me a nice little cityscape on this stage. Clockwork Games' logos often dotted around the stages. So I said one of the early bits gave me sort of nighttime. See, this gives me a bit sort of driving around, probably almost like a bit like Heathrow Airport in around all those sort of outer city areas. But I think it's a slight American vibe. Okay, appreciate you guys giving me the likes on stream there. Thanks very much. So this is, well, I don't know, this is Vanishing Point on the Sega Dreamcast, which was developed by Clockwork Games and published by Acclaim. It is a bit of a lesser known Dreamcast racer, and I think one that is owed some love by the Dreamcast fan base. It is a very polished racer, and you don't get pickup trucks in too many racing games either. Oh, this is lost. This race is lost. That's the downside. You lose one hit part of the race and then you can't restart and then you're back to square one. don't like this trick up very much. It's very... do like the track though. Very nice track design. A very summer feel as well. Oh! I'm turning this thing over far too much. Four minutes 20, so that means you got quite... This has got a big lap time per track. So the average in theory is 2 minutes 10 per lap. I'm not going to do that. This is not a good first lap. Turned it over a bit too much. Yeah, there are many things I can gain time on. 27 seconds is not one of them. I would need a blinder of a lap, and I'm not getting that with this. But still, very impressive track design in this, and very impressive visuals. It does give you the feel of driving down streets. Considering the age of the Dreamcast, this is definitely one of those games that you actually sit and play and think, yeah, this is actually, for the time, it's very good. I believe this did get a PlayStation release as well, Vanishing Point, but it's not going to look anywhere near as good as this thanks to VGA support and the Dreamcast texture resolution, etc. It's just vastly superior to the PS1. I think, I'll check to see if it's got PC release. Oh no. Yeah, this car's really easy to roll. Hi Sega Saturns, thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, it's definitely a game that not many people talk about. And it's one I did a bit of an unprompted stream on and I thought, yeah, why not? Oh, I rolled myself again. It's a Dreamcast game that just doesn't sadly get talked about and needs more talking about. It really does need some love, respect and appreciation. I don't think it's that expensive either to buy still. I think it's relatively cheap. But overall you get a very solid racer that is up there even with a lot of the modern racers these days. I think perhaps it's a little bit slidey on some of the controls, but other than that... It's been years since I played this as well, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this stream, so... and I don't often say that about racing games, because racing games aren't my forte, but sometimes it's just nice to play. Yeah, I'm well behind on this. Practice a bit on this stage with this car, I feel. You must finish first to complete the heat. Raw. Let's try one of the other cars. That's the Ford. Let's just heat 2 on this one. MSR was okay too. Yeah, MSR's... When you say okay, do you mean you felt it was a little bit average? I have to admit myself, the music in MSR was great, but MSR had issues. The way the kudos system, I think, limited you so much. And there were so many repeats with some of the stages, very short stages. there were quite a lot of bugs in the first revision as well, so it wasn't particularly very good. It was a nice racer, but it doesn't feel like, and you had a lot of tight turns and stuff. This has this one definitely has better race tracks than MSR. MSR I feel was more like a city guide thing. So although it was quite a groundbreaking visual game, and the concept was great, the fact you're driving around London and Tokyo and San Francisco in MSR, that was really neat. The actual design of the stages, the races, this actually has definitely better racing tracks than MSR. Should actually cover MSR at some point on the channel as well. Yeah, the turnings in MSR were often a bit brutal. And the kudos sections, because you had so many just races, so it's a nice game, MSR, but yeah, I think you're probably right. This is probably overall the better. MSR wants to be just an open drive exploring game like Test Drive, but can't quite do it. That was a dreadful performance. Restart tournament. But the thing is, a lot of people still mention MSR, but this rarely ever gets the love, but this deserves the love. Because this, I definitely think this is a more impressive game in terms of how the state. Oh, it's a bad start. No, I lost out that because you literally can't crash on these latest stages. It definitely ups the difficulty. You really have to be on the ball very quickly with Vanishing Point. I'd really like the name as well. It was quite an original name. Vanishing Point, the point at which everything vanishes to your eye. So it's a really slick name. Or the horizon, everything disappears to the horizon, I should say. I think the thing with this one is it gives you the feel of racing, like this stage gives you the feeling of racing around a sort of American style canyon. You have other stages that feel like you're racing around cities. It's a little bit more, track design is definitely more interesting than MSR. I know MSR is racing around cities and that's really nice, but other than London, as I'm not very familiar with Tokyo and San Francisco. I'm not connected to them, and then even then there's a lot of sort of changes within the city designs. Yeah, frame rate's really smooth. It is really smooth, the frame rate. I'll just turn up the yeah, it's definitely a game. I mean, this has been years since I've actually played it as well. Probably over a decade, actually. But it's definitely one of those games that's actually aged. I think it has aged as a racer very well. Controls, as I said, controls are a little bit slippery, but you get used to them after a bit. It does depend a bit on the car, so the cars do all have a different weight and feel to them, which is another sign of really good. You get the gate sign, stay in lane. Yeah, nice. Kudos to the devs for including that. Like I'm running. This feels like I'm driving around the M25. In case you don't know what the M25 is, that's a British motorway around London that goes around in a circle in London. So they're actually, I think they're American signs in this stage, so this must be like an American city. This is one of those games that could well do with a re-release, but I suspect its rights are, if Clockwork Games didn't keep the rights, then, and God knows what's left of Clockwork Games, then I suspect it's all over the place. There was actually a bit from one of the Platinum guys today saying he feels that a lot of it's badly affecting cultural heritage in gaming, the fact so many great games are not readily available to buy. And it is true, there are so many games that I can list off the top of my head, iconic classics that are just not readily available to buy. I do like the fact this gives you a living feel with the factor of things like planes, trains and other things in the background like the signs. It just adds to the ambience of a driving game. Something some of the modern games are missing now. They can be a bit static with some of this stuff. Exits, stay in lane, yeah. It's just trains going over there again. It's just a really nice touches like that. Take note if you're a modern developer, touches like that are just really, really good. It's going to be tight. Can I get first place? Got to avoid crashing into these other cars as well. Be very tight. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Yes! Just streaming in there in first place. And if you're joining the stream, I should just say my name is Random Gamer Riven and I'm the editor of Randomized Gaming, and this game showcasing tonight is Vanishing Point on the Sega Dreamcast. I'm actually playing it on the Dreamcast via VGA, so a lot of Dreamcast games support VGA, so that's 480p, and they still look very nice as a result. And if you enjoy our content here at Randomised Gaming, please consider hitting that like button. It does help this video in the rankings. And cheers, thank you. Now, the question is whether I can beat this one, Sega Saturn's. Put a Z on the end. Okay, this is the track I've done before. It was developed by the now said defunct Clockwork Games, and it was published by Acclaim, but it's definitely one of Acclaim's better games on the Dreamcast. There's also Clockwork Games' last game, which is a shame as this is a really well done title, but I don't think Vanishing Point sold very well. Which is saying it deserved to get a much better rep, but I think because it came out in 2001 when the Dreamcast had bitten the dust, it kind of... The problem with the Dreamcast, when a lot of the games that got released after Sega pulled the plug, it suffered badly because everyone had said they're not going to make it anymore, and a lot of people just avoided the console as a result. Don't it's the other cars that are probably the biggest problem trying to beat. Come on. Come on, I've got to get first, else I have to redo all these races. No, I'm not going to do it. Fudgems. Could do with the retry option. They are tough. Oh, congratulations, you've completed the 2-player balloon buster. You've unlocked the 2-player balloon buster mode. Oh, nice. That's what I mean about there's an awful lot of content to unlock in this. An awful lot of content. That's definitely a game you do need to practice on. You need to get used to the handling, you also need to get used to yeah, Sony mode's locked up the tune-ups. Let's try Stunt Drive again. We nearly had this one. Let's just do the long jump to begin with. Now I know how to do a hard turn. Yeah, the music is, as we were saying earlier, sort of a Euro dance vibe, and it is very good. Very relaxing and chilled, which is what you want for driving. You either want driving games. I think you either want high energy pace stuff, or you want very relaxing. No, that's a rubbish start. Or you want very relaxing, chilled stuff, depending what you're doing. It's so stuff like Forza Horizons. You kind of want this type of Eurobeat stuff, relaxing, chilled. Stuff like Daytona with an arcade feel. You want that. Oh yes, that was a new record, wasn't it? 89. Yeah, definitely very early 2000s vibe, as you say. Oh, that was a new record as well. High score 91. Okay, let's give that distance. Ah, so the distance is not as long as I need. Okay, that's so I don't need the kind of rev up I'm initially feeling. It's more the time I need to do now. There should have been a Wipeout game on DC. Yeah, it would have been nice, but alas, Psygnosis became part of Sony, so and Sony controlled the IP, so there was never going to be a Wipeout game on DC. I mean, Sony started to get quite aggravated over the fact Psygnosis were releasing their games on Sega Saturn, N64, and can I get 100 on this stage? So I've got to get the timing. Okay, so getting the time and the distance just right, so... just out on distance. Give another shot. Oh, I was hoping to get 100. Come on, game, give me 100. I want my first 100. Ho ho ho, just 99 points. So 1 point out. Just got to get that just right. Keep going for that perfect score. I'll just stop doing that challenge now and move on to the another one because I'm sure you guys have seen me do that one enough. But shows you the once you really get good with the cars and how they handle, you can really improve your times. Can't remember if you needed 100% on every challenge, actually. You may have done. They said there's an awful lot to unlock. And there we go with the barrel roll. Must complete the event within 15 seconds. Okay, I'll give this event a quick shot and then I'll do one last jump and stuff and then I'll probably wrap up. I'll do one last race with one of the cars. My god, what is this monstrosity? What is this monstrosity? Samsung, red line. Oh, wow, you got product placement in this as well. BMW. Do a barrel roll. Oh wow, we've got to roll it over. Ford Focus M1, yeah. BMW, I think that's Rolls Royce. Do a barrel roll. Oh, 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 oh. You'll go for the finish in 15 seconds. Some of these challenges are rather tricky. So I probably shouldn't hit that this hard, so that way I just roll and bounce. Woo, 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 woo. Checkbox. Okay, so I can literally probably get away with not even hitting it, so if I just literally probably just literally do that. Oh, not far off. So yeah, Vanishing Point, as has been showing, has a huge range of events, 2-player modes, lots of single-player content, lots of multiplayer content. I mean, it's actually, in terms of game, you do get a lot of game for your money, that I will say. Just to see what formats it was released on. So Vanishing Point. Appreciate all the likes, everyone. What was it released on? Vanishing. PlayStation and Dreamcast. So yeah. So yeah, Dreamcast really is the version to go for. Appreciate everyone liking the stream as well, that's very helpful. And if you do want to chat in the chat, you just need to be subscribed for a minute if you're a new viewer. It's just purely to stop the, we've had quite a few spam chat in recent months, so it just stops all that. And you can always unsubscribe if you don't like the content at the end, but thank you all for watching. I'll give this one last shot. I do like this do like these events, they're good fun actually. I said they are very much Burnout before Burnout. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Burnout, because Acclaim published Burnout, if they said, well, let's capitalise on the ideas in this game. Oh. Oh. I'm going to jump into... So quite a few trick sections as you see. I think I'm a bit short, so yeah, you do need to get you have to get very good at a lot of the trick sections. I'm quite a way short, 61, 97, yeah, I'm gonna need to... You do need to be practically this event, so yeah, you've got to unlock quite a few events. I'm going to do one last tournament race, let's be the BMW 325i one last time. Let's give this a whirl. Oh, I keep crashing. I was just taking a quick mic off break there. But I was just actually thinking the fact that what's quite nice about this is the fact the AI is actually quite unexpected at times, with the fact it will crash and cause havoc, so you have to be a bit prepared for it, which is actually quite nice because you don't often see that. Normally in a lot of racing games, the AI will be very strict, follow the path very religiously. Some games they'll tussle amongst themselves, but generally they'll just sort of compete. You won't get them sort of crash out and things, which adds to the sort of excitement, especially if they do it in ways that it can take you out, so it makes it a bit more exciting and interesting, which is something this does. Like you had that the first time I was running this race, you had that blue car crash in front of me. It adds to the element of excitement and unexpected, so I think the player has to be prepared for, because that means there's an unexpected, you know, cars will crash in front of you. Something you don't tend to have in a lot of other racing games. Everything's very sort of on track, and but here you'll often get them bunched up or spread apart, so you do get different feelings for when you're seeing different groups. So you know, is this group going to be trouble to pass, or is it just a single car? Is he going to veer in my way? Is he not going to? Let's try this again. Yes, finally got through that one. Okay, good recovery there. Was that enough? You must finish first to complete the heat. There. Okie dokie, that's actually the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to finish off there. I think that's enough for tonight, seeing as we've had a bit of an eventful day here at Randomised Gaming. So thank you all for watching. This has been Vanishing Point on the Sega Dreamcast. My name has been Random Gamer Riven, the editor of Randomised Gaming, and I hope you enjoyed this look at what is a bit of an obscure Dreamcast racer, but I actually highly recommend it. It's definitely one, I think if you haven't played it before, I would recommend looking at. It's definitely one of the better racers on the system that I don't think was particularly well known at the time. So Vanishing Point by Clockwork Games in the UK, and it was published by Acclaim. It was released in 2001. It is steering wheel compatible, and it is VGA compatible. It does support the Rumble Pack as well. And to quote Dreamcast UK on the back of the box, Vanishing Point has all the ingredients to make a sweet alternative to the F355 and MSRs of the world. Ferrari 355 Challenge is actually pretty rubbish, I have to admit. And and another quote from Dreamcast magazine, where Vanishing Point gets one upon its rivals is what it offers in terms of modes and gameplay. So yes, I've been running, it's 1 to 2 players, or a few 2-player modes, but that's it from me. I wish you a good night, a good evening, a good morning, or a good afternoon wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please do consider hitting that like button if you haven't already. I'll be wrapping up for now, and I'll be back next Monday to stream again, but we will have videos on the channel over the weekend. Thank you all for watching. Apologies, it's been a little bit disjointed day for me. I had to rush this stream out a little bit, as I had some fun with mentioned a gas leak, but that's resolved now, so fortunately it's all good. But thank you all, everyone. Have a good weekend, and I'll be back Monday to stream again, but don't worry, there will be more videos on the channel over the weekend. So see you all Monday. Have a good night, everyone. And I should just say, if you haven't already considered liking this video, and of course consider subscribing to the channel. You can chat, you just need to be subscribed to the channel for a minute or so. And then, so remember that for the next video, you just need to be subscribed for a minute. And if you don't like our content, you can always unsubscribe at the end of the video. But thank you all. There's also the bell button if you want to hit that, which just inundates you with notifications, so that doesn't really happen. And of course, you can always actually do super chat and support us if you want. But it's entirely up to you. So thank you and good night.